Welcome back to Sharing Parenting's online sessions. My name's Ginny. Have you remembered your pen and paper? Remember to press pause when you see the exercise symbol and then press play again when you're ready to go. If you're using the Raising Children workbook, the exercises are on pages 70 to 79. So today we're going to look at session 5, which is all about active listening. In this session, you'll become aware of the qualities that contribute to being a good listener. And by the end of the session, you'll be able to list 4 qualities of a good listener and 2 reasons why you should listen to your children. So we aren't taught to listen, we just do it. Some people are better than others, and sometimes things get in the way. As parents, we have lots of things going on, and we may equate listening with fixing things ourselves rather than supporting our children to work things out. Let's take a look at the different ways in which we listen. So there are 2 levels of listening. There's the content, what the words are telling us, and there are feelings, what the child is feeling about the content. So imagine your child coming home from school and they look a bit sad. So you ask, "How are you?" And they reply, "Fine," but something's telling you they're not fine. It's really important to hear both levels to really connect with your child. Also, it's worth noting that if you or they are emotionally flooded, this prevents them from hearing you. So imagine the rage going up over their ears. Imagine trying to get your child to listen to you when they're in the middle of a tantrum. They just can't do it. Here's our first exercise today. So what are the helpful and unhelpful qualities in a listener? Press pause and play when you're ready. Some of the helpful qualities of a good listener you may have thought of include using open body language, such as eye contact, and for younger children getting down to their level. Stop what you're doing and try and give them your full attention. You probably need to turn your phone off. Listening also to what they're saying and try not to give them advice. Listen for the feelings and check with your child if that's what they're feeling. So you might say, "It sounds like you're feeling really angry." You may have to choose or plan for a good time to talk and listen to your child. And that's particularly important for teenagers. When it's your time for listening, it might not be their time for listening. So you might have to plan a different time to talk to them. Ask open questions to get more information so a better understanding of what your child is talking about. So sentences starting with what or who or why or where or when or how are better and give you less of a likely of a yes or no answer. Find a quiet place to have a chat and listen, and away from others if you can. So now we have another exercise. Have a think about when can you listen, what gets in the way, and how can you overcome it. Press pause and play when you're ready. So when are you able to listen to your children? You might have thought of early in the morning, or on the way to school, after school for some people, or during your meal times, and perhaps it's before bed or even in the car. If you have more than one child, it might be when the other children are busy or when they're in bed. So what gets in the way? You might be rushing to get somewhere on time, or other children might demand your attention. You might be hungry or tired. Remember Maslow and the importance of filling your jug? Or you might be worrying about work. Maybe your child says that they don't want to talk and they want to be on their own. Remember, your child, and especially your teenager, may not want to talk at the same time as you are, and they might not be ready to listen. So how do you overcome it? Plan some one-to-one time with your child when you have time to listen and you're less likely to be interrupted. So turn off your phone, choose a time when you're both relaxed, when you've eaten, when you've slept. You can explain to your child, and especially your teenager, that they're really important to you and you would like to listen to them. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we talk. There is a link between active listening and a high or healthy self-esteem, which is really important for us all to thrive. Take a minute to think of someone who really listened to you when you were a child. It may be a parent or a grandparent or a teacher or a good friend. How did you know they were listening to you? What did they do or what did they say when you were talking? And how did they make you feel? Press pause and play when you're ready. So when you think back to this person, do you think you're practicing the same listening skills with your own children? Take another look at the list of helpful qualities that we talked about earlier in this session. Now, take a moment to think about yourself as an adult. Who do you talk to now? When you really need to be listened to, who do you turn to? Thinking about this person, ask yourself, how does it feel to be heard and acknowledged? And how does this help you as a person, as a parent? Why do you think you need to be listened to now? Press pause and play when you're ready. It's really important for us all to be listened to, as this builds a healthy self-esteem and can help us to feel valued and give us courage. Remember to actively listen to your child. Take time to stop what you're doing. Look at them, ask open questions and repeat back to them what they are saying to you so you understand the feelings, not just the words. So we'll end this session with a poem. It's called The Listening Poem. When I ask you to listen to me and you start giving me advice, you're not doing what I've asked. When I ask you to listen to me and you begin to tell me why I shouldn't feel that way, you're trampling on my feelings. When I ask you to listen to me and you feel you have to do something to solve my problem, you're failing me, strange as it may seem. Listen. All I ask is that you listen. Not talk or do, just hear me. When you do something for me that I can do and need to do for myself, you contribute to my fear and weakness. But when you accept as a simple fact that I do feel what I feel, no matter how irrational, then I can stop trying to convince you and get about the business of understanding what's behind this irrational feeling. And when that's clear, the answers are obvious and I don't need advice. Irrational feelings make more sense when we understand what's behind them. So please listen and just hear me. And if you want to talk, wait a minute for your turn and I'll listen to you. So your task this week is to try to find one time to actively listen to your child and think about what they're really saying. Thank you for listening today. Our next session, we will look at effective discipline.